The WNBA has finally made a decision. After days of controversy surrounding Alyssa Thomas's collision with Caitlin Clark, the league reviewed the play and announced disciplinary action. But while the suspension has ended one debate, it has started another. Was one game really enough? The Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury met once again in what had already become one of the most physical rivalries of the season. Just 2 days earlier, their previous matchup featured multiple technical fouls, an ejection, and constant tension throughout all 4 quarters. Everyone expected another emotional game. No one expected what happened next. On June 25, 2026, the WNBA delivered a sudden, jarring verdict. Without an on-court whistle, the league office issued a post-game ruling, a Flagrant 2 upgrade, a $1,000 fine, and a 1-game suspension for Phoenix forward Alyssa Thomas. But the announcement did not quiet the storm. Instead, it ignited an immediate national debate that split fans and analysts. Why did the league need a retrospective video review instead of an in-game whistle? Was one game really enough? The league's institutional response raised more questions than it answered, putting officiating standards under a harsh national spotlight before the physical sequence was even fully understood. On June 22, 2026, just 48 hours before the controversial collision, Indiana and Phoenix turned Gainbridge Fieldhouse into a pressure cooker. The Fever secured an 86-77 victory, but the final score was overshadowed by raw hostility. Officials handed out 5 technical fouls as players clashed repeatedly. Caitlin Clark and Dewana Bonner locked up, drawing matching penalties, while Alyssa Thomas and Misha Hines-Allen stood toe-to-toe in a physical standoff that resulted in an ejection. By the final buzzer, the court simmered with unresolved animosity. When both teams returned to the floor on June 24th, the pregame warm-ups carried an unmistakable edge. The regular season matchup had transformed into a bitter feud. The stage was set for a collision, with both rosters locked in a battle of wills long before the opening tip. On June 24th, 2026, with 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the second quarter, the physical rivalry erupted into a defining flashpoint. Caitlin Clark drove hard toward the basket, losing her balance and falling to the hardwood. As she struggled to push herself back up, Phoenix forward Alyssa Thomas converged on the paint. In a fraction of a second, Thomas's right fist made direct, heavy contact with the throat area of the rookie guard. Clark collapsed back to the floor, yet the whistle never blew. The officiating crew allowed play to continue without pause, leaving the bench in absolute disbelief. It was an immediate live-action omission that quickly exploded across digital platforms. Within minutes, online feeds filled with slow-motion replays and isolated freeze frames of the collision. This single sequence, entirely ignored in real time, was already being dissected from every camera angle imaginable. On the Indiana sideline, the lack of a whistle triggered immediate fury. Head coach Stephanie White confronted the officiating crew, demanding answers for the missed blow. At halftime, the referees offered a startling excuse. They simply didn't see it. For White, that explanation was entirely unacceptable. She blasted the non-call as egregious, warning that the unchecked contact was dangerous. "You've got to call it," White demanded. The protest instantly transformed a single missed whistle into a direct challenge of league standards. How could 3 professional officials completely miss a blow to a player's throat in plain sight? The physical toll of the hit soon became impossible to ignore. Minutes after halftime, Clark limped off the floor, clutching her lower back. The Fever's double-digit lead immediately dissolved, yet she refused to stay down. Clark checked back in, gritting her teeth to finish with 19 points and 8 assists. It was a gritty, high-stakes performance, but the damage was done. If the officials had protected her from the start, would she have been forced to play through such agony? How much did that one missed whistle ultimately cost Indiana in a brutal 2-point loss? On June 25th, the WNBA issued its official ruling. Following a post-game review, the league upgraded the missed call to a Flagrant 2, defining the hit as a non-basketball act. The formal statement declared that Alyssa Thomas was recklessly making contact with her fist to the throat area. The penalty, a 1-game suspension and a $1,000 fine. Instantly, public opinion split. Many praised the ruling as a necessary correction for player safety. Others saw it as a weak gesture, delivered far too late to change the final score. Was 1 game really enough? Lexie never issued a public statement about the collision. Instead, her silence directs attention back to her April 9, 2026 remarks. She warned then that personal attacks cross the line, reminding the world that players are real people. Under the relentless spotlight of the Caitlin Clark era, those words carry new weight. As fans debated the 1-game suspension, a deeper crisis of credibility remained. Why did live officiating fail so completely in the moment? Why did it take a post-game review to do what should have been handled on the court? One suspension won't resolve a systemic officiating crisis under national scrutiny. Will the WNBA finally prioritize player safety and consistency? Let us know in the comments below.